Hi Journeyers, I'm Tony Carnes, your host for A Journey Through NYC Religions Television. Often when you will go on the street, something written on the wall or on the sidewalk will just stop you for a moment and you'll say, that's really interesting. And maybe it'll be something thoughtful like somebody drew an angel or somebody drew a cross. Or maybe you run across on some wall, Jesus saves. Spain Nunez is what we call an all-city tagger. That's a real big honor to have him on the set with us today. Spain Nunez, the tagger for Jesus Saves. Welcome to the program, Spain.
Thank you, Tony. It's good to be here.
Just about a block away from where we're at a sort of a Hall of Fame, you might say, of the Freedom Tunnel, which starts about a block and a half away from our studio and goes all the way up the side of Manhattan. And you'll run across in that tunnel sort of a selection of writers who have written about their faith, their hopes, their fears, their angers, right there on the tunnel. You'll notice quite a few have this tag, Jesus Saves. I think that Freedom Tunnel is like a museum exhibit of Jesus Saves tags. Would that be right?
Yes, sir.
Well, do you remember where your first tag in the Freedom Tunnel is?
Yeah, well, started off by the Jabber Center on 35th Street.
Yeah.
It's right behind the parking lot that's there.
Yeah.
And I just walked up. That was my first tag, and I walked it all the way up to 120th Street to Harlem.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot of tags.
Yes, it is.
And some unusual places. There are walls, there are power boxes your own, and there's one place that looked like a restroom. You put Jesus Saves to the door. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. My memory's not that good, but...
I think I've seen a picture that shows that. I don't know how long the tunnel is, 10 miles, 8 miles, 6 miles. Dozens of Jesus Saves in there. Not on public walls. It's, this is really much in the bowels of the city. But it is what Spain here does. He prays for us and he writes his prayer wherever he goes. Can you tell us, how did you start doing this? How did you start? Did it just come as a kid, or did you have to go some things and then you say, well, I got to change my life, and God changed your life and you started doing Jesus Days? Tell us a little bit about how that happened.
Well, I mean, I grew up in church as a kid. But, there was a time I was kind of like backslided, wanted to be cool, hang out.
You grew up in Bushwick, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Whereabouts in Bushwick?
Knickerbocker, between Hancock and Jefferson Avenue.
Now that wasn't the best real estate in the city.
Not really. But Putnam Avenue was also a hot block. So I grew up around that area, like Putnam, Halsey. But I actually lived.
Did you know the Lord at that point, or?
Yeah, I mean, I did. But at that time, I was distant from God. I was kind of like discouraged.
Well, how did that start to change?
Well, it started to change as soon as I repented.
Yeah? How did that come about?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I started doing a lot of thinking. I felt convicted.
Yeah.
I felt wrong. I felt guilty. And I repented. I asked the Lord to forgive me with a sincere heart.
Now, if I remember right, in that neighborhood there was something called Metro Ministries.
Oh yeah, of course.
Did you ever join what they did?
Yes, I used to go there in the 80s. My mother used to send me and my brothers there in the early 80s. School bus used to pick us up.
This was, they called it Saturday morning Sunday school?
Sunday school, yeah, Yogi Bear.
Yogi Bear Sunday school.
Yeah, so Pastor Bill knows me since I was little.
Yeah.
And I got to see Pastor Bill, even though they're not on Evergreen anymore, but they had a service in Bushwick High School. Pastor Bill saw me, he was happy to see me. And I, took a picture with him. And
I think his name is Bill Miller.
Wilson.
Bill Wilson, that's right.
Yeah.
Pastor, really a significant person in
Yeah.
New York at that time.
Oh yeah, he was. He even got. I remember when he got shot in his.
In the face.
In the face. He
His
was
cheek.
back in '89, I think it was, or '88. He some guy just came and put a gun in his mouth.
Yeah, yeah.
Wanted to rob him. He wanted to defend himself, and I guess he got shot
Lucky it
through
went
through
out.
his, yeah.
Yeah, so those were sometimes pretty tough times, but you started to change, and at some point you decided you actually went out street preaching and things like that?
Yeah, I got involved with the street ministry, with the youth, from this other Pentecostal church that I was attending.
Okay.
We would call the Youth in Action. We would preach on the trains. We would preach in the streets. Gave out tracts.
Yeah.
We have those big round speakers.
Yeah. Was that very effective, or?
Yeah, a lot of people got annoyed, but.
But so that sort of led you to start thinking, how could you really reach people like yourself?
There you go, and that's how Jesus Saves came about.
Well, tell me a little bit how that, because after all, you didn't tag before then, did you? Or maybe some.
Well. I mean,
if we were looking for Spain, would we find it out there?
Nah, not really. I would do Spain tags here and there once in a while.
Yeah.
So I started off as writing Spain, but I was just a neighborhood writer.
Right.
With Jesus Saves, I actually hit up, every borough, and even Long Island.
Where was your first Jesus Save tag?
In Bushwick.
Oh yeah. Tell how that happened.
Well, I had a marker in my hand, and I just started.
This is about 1995?
Yeah, mid-90s, yeah, 95. I had a marker in my hand. I started writing it everywhere. But I was only writing in Bushwick only.
And I think you told one of our reporters one time that a door opened to a building, and you felt God had opened that door for you, and then the door to the stairway going upstairs to the roof opened, and you thought God was sort of opening the doors for you to put a tag. Is that right?
I don't remember saying that.
Okay.
But I've done.
You tell us exactly what happened.
I mean, I used to go to I used to love going inside abandoned buildings.
Yeah.
But because not only not to vandalize, but to explore. But of course, when I would hit the rooftops, then if I see graffiti, I will catch a tag on it.
Yeah.
So most of the times, these buildings will have open doors.
Yeah, that's
and I would just walk in, and I would go to the roof and paint. But I no longer do rooftops anymore.
Well, at that point, a lot of the buildings were burned out, so in any block you could go into buildings that didn't have the doors weren't there.
Yeah, but some of them were just empty buildings.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But what I liked about it is that I took pictures and videos, and because the thing is about these buildings is that they're very old, and I love the architect, the fireplace, so that's what I wanted to capture, because now they gutting these out and they modernizing them, renovating them, so I just wanted to capture a little bit of the old New York.
Now, do you think Jesus Saves is part of the old New York or the new New York?
Well, I would say the old New York, but then again, this is another New York that we in right now, is a new New York, and I'm still active, in a graffiti scene.
You wanted to, as you spiritually changed, you wanted to somehow summarize up what you got, what you went through, and you came up with this slogan, Jesus Saves. How did that happen? I mean, did you try other things, or?
Well, I was trying to see what I was gonna write. If it was Jesus heals, Jesus loves, Jesus helps, Jesus saves. But I think Jesus Saves nailed it, because according to the word, salvation is through Jesus. It's not through religion. It's not through church. I just believe it's just a communication, a relationship with God through Christ.
If you were talking to me and say, Tony, Jesus saves. How would you explain that to me? What do you mean Jesus saves?
Well, Tony, I would say, listen, Jesus saves. In another word, salvation is through Christ. You know, you will be saved.
What's he going to save me from?
Well, I mean, he could save you from a lot of things.
Yeah.
He could save you from falling into a pit, you know, that you can't get out of, or he could save you from hell. He could save you from drug addiction, alcohol addiction, porn addiction. He could save you from getting, God forbid, killed in the streets. He could save you from a lot of things. But spiritually, he could save you from hell. And then physically, he could just save you from anything that was trying to like throw at you.
Now, Jesus saves, it seems simple, right? 2 words. But for a tag, that's a lot of lettering.
Yeah, it's 10 lettering.
Let me show the Jesus Saves tag here. And always with the tag, it's got to be, tell its message, and it's got to do it quick, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah. But how fast do you want to do this if you're out on the street?
Well, as fast as possible so I won't get in trouble.
30 seconds?
Something like that. A good, I would say 15 seconds for something that size.
For this size. Now, where do you start? Do you start up here with the J or down here at the bottom?
I start where the J is at, but in the bottom of the J.
The bottom of the J.
Then I make
You come up?
Up, and then from left to right.
And then you try to use basically not too many strokes. You try to, how many strokes do you?
I would say like 5. 1 with the J,
Yeah.
2 with the top of the J and the ES. Then the US.
Yes.
S, and then 8. Then the rest of the lettering. That makes it 5.
Now, what's interesting is how Jesus is expansive here and saves is like it's moving. Did you ever notice that? Jesus is real expansive. And then saves, particularly when it comes there to the end of the S, it's like it's going someplace.
Oh, yeah, kind of. It's because it's connected.
That's
yeah.
right. And that's a very interesting aesthetic that you got there. And you did this, started in Bushwick, up in a building in Bushwick, the first one. Does that still exist even?
Oh, no, it's been long gone.
Yeah, those buildings, a lot of them are gone.
Yeah, telephone booths I hit up, they're gone.
Yeah.
A lot of poles, they're gone.
Do you ever go by where your tag was and the building is gone? Does it hurt you?
Yeah, I mean, most of the time they paint over a lot of my stuff, but sometimes the building was renovated or they put a new building up. Or like a parking lot I used to head up, they turned that into buildings as well. So it's just the neighborhood changed, times changed.
Now, I've noticed a lot of places, even today, I see some of them are older tags, but I see Jesus Saves on the bumper of a truck at the back.
Oh.
The back door.
Yeah, I've done that.
I've taken photos of that. Or and then there's always those doorways where there's every tag in the world, and in there you see Jesus Saves, and you say, do people wonder who this guy is that does it?
I had a lot of people tell me when they meet me, I always wanted to know who writes that or why you write it, and you know.
What do you tell them?
You know, I tell them that the reason why I write it is because, you know, salvation is through Christ, and you know, because of my belief, because of my faith, and because this is my way of spreading the word through graffiti.
Has anybody said they got the word through you, through your graffiti?
I had a lot of people tell me they got touched. They had a bad day. The message will give them hope or will make them smile.
Yeah. Well, now, along the way, you went through every part of the city, right?
Yeah, just about.
You take a map and figure out where you would go that night. Is that right?
That's right.
And how many blocks could you hit in a night?
It depends how many paint I have, how many cans. So sometimes I'll walk with 5
Oh, really?
5 blacks and 5 whites. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So I would go to Uptown Manhattan, like Dykeman.
Yeah.
So I look at the map and I see how long the streets are. So I would do a whole entire street from beginning to end. Then I'll go to the next street and do the same. Then to the 3rd street, then I'll do the same beginning to end.
Did
so
you
I'm
ever
making my
do
way.
Bedford Avenue?
Bedford and Nostrand are the 2 longest streets I could.
That's right. That's why I'm asking.
No, it was impossible for me to do all that.
All of that. You would do some.
I would just do maybe like the Williamsburg side.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe towards Bed-Stuy. But there was no way I was gonna do the entire Bedford and Nostrand.
But the Freedom Tunnel's pretty long.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah, it's really long.
Yeah. Well, it's underneath the Riverside Park.
Yeah, that's right.
If you're walking on Riverside Park, you notice some metal stuff on the ground. Yeah. You look down, that's the Freedom Tunnel right under it.
And you went all the way through that tunnel, right?
Yes, I did the whole entire tunnel from 35th Street to 120th.
Oh my gosh.
But I did it in 2, I did a half, and then the next following day I finished the other half.
That's pretty fast. That's speedy, Jesus saves.
Yeah, but I believe I have a lot of stuff down there because like we got a lot of these young kids that are exploring, going to tunnels and stuff, and I see a lot of my stuff that pops up in videos and stuff.
Oh,
so I'm like,
okay.
wow, okay, you know, I'm still, and plus the paint I use is extremely permanent and durable. I could come back in 30 years and it'll still be there.
Oh, okay. That's pretty neat. You know, when you tag an area and you would look at your map, you would mark it out in some sort of marker that you had done that area?
Yeah, of course. I use a highlighter.
A highlighter. And so eventually you would have the whole map would be all highlighted.
Just about every
Really?
borough. Like I know when I look at every borough on the map, I know more or less what neighborhood I hit, where to go to next. I was just trying to aim for every single neighborhood in every borough.
Yeah. Did you get all the way up to the top of the Bronx? High Bridge?
I did the Bronx. I did the entire Jerome. I did Grand
Jerome?
Concourse. I did Boston Road. But Southern Boulevard.
Oh, that's, yeah.
But the Bronx is it was kind of too hot at the same time. So me going out at night, I mean, I got away with it because, you know, during that time it was easy to catch tags. But now if I try to go out at night, now I don't know what could happen. I got to worry about also somebody who's going to see me and probably say something or do something.
And they think it's their territory. But were taggers very territorial?
Yeah, but they're still doing fills,
Yeah.
doing the outlines. So, I mean, I don't know.
Like when you did, let's see, when you started as a kid, Biggie was, what was the song with Biggie? Biggie is Brooklyn, Biggie's all over. Biggie, there was.
I know he did a couple of songs like Juicy and all that.
Yeah.
But they did a documentary on Biggie and my tag came out.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, they actually filmed it. And his mom on Instagram posted a picture of my tag and Biggie's.
Did you ever meet her?
No.
Gosh.
The thing is that I went to that block on St. James and I called a big Jesus Saves and I put a R.I.P. Big. Or I put Biggie and I came out in commercials,
Okay, right.
you know, and a Biggie documentary.
So you did do an R.I.P. that one.
Yeah, but I was just tagging. It's not that I did a.
I know.
I just put Jesus Saves and I put R.I.P.
But that was still a mark of respect.
Yeah, you know, I came out. I could show you pretty soon. I came out on Lil Caesar from Junior Mafia was posing and aiming at my tag. Yeah, like he's going like this. Jesus Saves Biggie. And I was like, oh wow! And this guy was a rapper, like that rapped with Biggie and all that.
Have any of these guys asked you to do a tag?
Nah, they don't communicate with me.
No.
At all. No.
But I know that your stuff all the time. Your stuff is popping up at different shows, different art venues, different gatherings. Even this summer, I know some people are talking about having you come and do some work. Is there anything going on in the next couple of months that?
Well, let's see.
Cooking?
I mean, I've done a lot of exhibition gallery shows in my past, but I just have people, just random people hitting me up, being like, "Yo, you want to be a part of this show?
Yeah, right.
You want to be a part of this show? We'll add your name on the flyer and this and that." And I'd be like, "All right, you know."
Oh, and Journey audience, will you sign up for our newsletter? Because as soon as we hear that Jesus Saves is appearing, we're going to let you know. So you can show up and take a look at his work. You also, you see this as not only your art, yourself, who you are, it's also your ministry. And you've done some of this over in Europe and other places in past years.
Yeah, well, I've painted a lot out there.
Yeah.
In Puerto Rico as well, and Dominican Republic.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I painted out there. I did a lot of walls out there.
Okay.
They liked the graffiti out there. They didn't know what it was, so they started providing paint. So I have the permission to do everybody's wall. I'm over here saying, "Oh man, I hope I don't get shot out here, or I hope I don't get beat up."
You're right.
And look, everybody loved it. I had a bunch of kids watching me paint. So it was cool. That was in Dominican Republic and in Puerto Rico as
you're
well.
ambassador of Jesus.
Amen. I mean, I'm spreading the word, but I'm also preaching at the same time to a lot of these people. So they show me a lot of love, and you know.
You know, one thing that I noticed that that you cannot. Your tag is still around. I mean, you know, you see it all the time, and you do wonder, well, who that guy is. Who are you going to be this coming years? What are your plans?
Let's see. I mean, I don't know yet, because I used to plan things. Like I used to, you know, go paint throughout the U.S.
Yeah.
You know, like Cali and you know, and you know, they'll invite me to do shows in Chicago and St. Louis.
Yeah.
And I paint out there. But I don't know now. It's like right now I'm just laying low and letting the Lord, you know, decide what's going to be the next move or the next plan that he has for me.
What are your favorite verse that you share with people?
Romans 10:9.
Oh yeah, what's that?
It says, if you believe in your heart that Jesus is Lord and that God has raised him from the death, from the grave, you shall be saved.
Oh, man. Well, Journeyers, one thing that street art starts off with street, then it goes up and becomes high art because it gets put on museum walls. Then people get inspired to start low again. And we have a person here that's stretched several decades and has continually inspired people. We hope that you'll be inspired to figure out what your tag in life is. I'm Tony Carnes, your host for A Journey Through NYC Religions. Thank you for being with us, Spain.
Thank you, Tony. You're welcome.